Well, all right. Welcome to each and every one of you to Working Together. This is a program of Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi. I'm Bishop Ronnie Crudup, Diocese Bishop for the Fellowship of International Churches, and also Senior Pastor of New Horizon Church International here in Jackson. And I want to welcome you to Working Together, all right? And thank you so much for joining us today. I certainly hope and pray that you are having a good day and a good week. I know I am. Hey, the Lord is blessing. And we've got a great time of discussion on today, and would love to be able to get you into this discussion today. I want to talk about why it's so important for us to come together. And there's a number that you can give us a call at, and that is 1-800-492-5186. So once again, that's 1-800-492-5186 if you want to talk a little bit and chat with me today as we're in this program working together. And as the scripture says, come, let's reason together. I like that out of Isaiah. Come, let's reason together. Well, listen, in case there's anybody out there who doesn't know what Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi is, Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi are actually what's called community organizing. And so it is a organization of organizations. It's a membership based organization, and institutions join Working Together Jackson as well as institutions join Working Together Mississippi to enhance their ability to be able to bring change in the community, okay? To enhance their ability to be able to accomplish significant works in the community that they want to do. Because what we recognize in Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi is that no one person, or even one institution can ever do anything really significant alone. Okay, we need other people, and so it is through organizations like this that institutions come together and strengthen themselves, empower themselves, get with like-minded people, and create the change that they want. And that's called developing your power, okay? Because power is the ability to be able to make change. What is power? Power is the ability to be able to make change. And if you can't change things, guess what? You don't have any power. Okay, and so this organization is all about helping institutions develop their power base to better understand themselves and have a positive effect upon the community around them, to bring change in systems and policy, in circumstances, whatever they want to bring change in, then that's what this is all about. And so that's what Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi are about. And we would love to hear from you. We would love to have your organization to be a part of this great work. This work has been in Jackson, Mississippi, and across the state of Mississippi since the early 90s. Approximately about 1992 is when we started this kind of work. And we're on our, typically in this work too, one of the things that you always do periodically is you rebrand yourself. And so we're kind of in the second branding of this work here, and this work is now called Working Together Jackson. And then our expanded work across the state is called Working Together Mississippi. And so it's been exciting to be here. We've accomplished a whole lot over that period of time. And we're inviting other institutions to be a part of this good work and come in with your agenda. And that's one of the things that's so great about this work, is that the agenda for this work is actually determined from the bottom up and not the top down, okay? And so a lot of people know that I'm one of the folks that help bring community organizations to the state of Mississippi, but I don't only establish the agenda. That is established through the decisions of the group, okay? And so not from, somebody who is at the very top or somebody who has some special interest. All of us get an opportunity to establish the agenda and the work that we do. And so that's one of the strengths of this work. And so even though your organization may come in, you may be fairly new, the truth is you also have some say so, okay? You don't have to wait around for 5 or 10 years to get enough seniority that you now can say something. And I don't know about you, but I've been a part of organizations like that where they tell you to sit down and shut up and wait your turn, okay? Well, that's not what this kind of work is about. This is something that you come and are part of this and you become functional. You are heard from the very beginning. And there's no better time to be a part of this than now, because we are reorganizing ourselves, okay? One of the things we talk about in this work is also a constant deorganizing and reorganizing, okay? And so we're in a place where we're reorganizing ourselves, and so the membership even more is open. And so this is an opportunity for you and your group, your institution, to be a part of this. So what kind of institutions are typically a part of a work like Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi? Well, certainly faith institutions are kind of our cornerstone. Those are the things that this work originally began with, and is still a big part of the institutions that are a part of Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi, or wherever it is across the country, because we're a part of a larger group of folks across this country. A lot of those institutions are churches. They may be synagogues. They may be mosques. Okay. And so that's one part of it, but also it may be a neighborhood association, okay? And so if you got a neighborhood association, here's an opportunity to increase the viability and effectiveness of your neighborhood association. So you can get your neighborhood association in this. It can be a nonprofit good work in the community. As a good example, the medical mall here in Jackson is a part of Working Together Jackson, okay? And so you've got a lot of these kind of institutions that have joined us and are part of this. We've got schools that are part of this. Mississippi School of Law is another institution that's been a part of this. And so we've had institutions on Millsaps that's been a part of this, on Jackson State's campus. And so it's broad. And so if you've got an institution out there and you want to be a part of this good work, then we would love you to be a part of this work. We've had unions in the past that's been a part of this work. And so once again, this is a institution of institutions. In fact, we've got, because we understand that there are some individuals that are very passionate about this, but maybe their faith institution or they were not a part of some other group. There was actually a group started for people that they could join that group, and then that group together came to the table and joined as a group to be able to be a part of this work. And so if you're an individual, then you can give us a call about this, and you can be a part of this as well, okay? And by the way, you can find a whole lot more about Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi. Certainly you can pull us up on Facebook, or you can go to the website for just Google us for the website here for Working Together Jackson, and so you will get that information, okay? And we'd love to have a conversation with you. We have people who are, if you will, the employees of the institution day to day. We call those folks our organizers, okay? And so as a good example, Siobhan Chapman, okay? Brilliant sister is the lead organizer for Working Together Jackson. Perry Perkins is the lead organizer for Working Together Mississippi. And Perry also kind of is the overseer for the entire state. And so these are wonderful folk that you can talk to, and others certainly you can talk to me. And we love to have your institution because here's a way to help your institution accomplish its goals. And frankly, I think also help your institution be even more relevant to circumstances that are going on in our community today. I hear from folks all the time, particularly in faith groups and churches and others, who are concerned that they're not as relevant. They're not addressing current needs, felt needs, the way that they like to see their community of faith do. Okay, then here's an opportunity to strengthen your community of faith. Here's an opportunity to get some training and to organize yourself in your institution of faith so that you can be even more effective. Okay, and so it's those kind of things that Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi do. And I tell folks all the time, just the sheer training that your group will get is worth the membership dues that your organization will pay. And yes, if you join something like this, there's membership dues, because we empower ourselves through our dues to be able to do the work that we do. Okay, and so you spend some money. Now that money is not unreasonable, but that is money that you spend. And as a good example, in New Horizon Church, we think it's a good spend of the money that we spend every year for what we get back, okay, in our own congregation, as well as what we can do to affect the community, okay? And so if you really want to make change, then you understand it's going to cost something, okay? It's going to cost something. And so there is no change without cost. Somebody's got to pay the cost, okay? Yeah, somebody's got to pay the cost. And a poverty mindset always wants everybody else to pay the cost. But poverty mindsets also typically never change things, okay? Poverty mindsets keep you in a place where you are a victim, or you are constantly victimized, okay? Because you're not willing to do the things that's really going to strengthen yourself, strengthen your community, and make things even more positive. And so, there's a cost for these things. And even though we raise money outside of our institutions, yes, we go after grants and all of these things such as this, but we also, our prime money is the money that our own institutions put in. In fact, we call that hard money. The money that our institutions put in, we call that hard money. And the money that foundations and other groups like that put in, we call that soft money, okay? And so work like this is funded through both hard and soft money, but everything starts with the hard money, okay? The money that may be a little harder to raise, okay? The money that, we have to do ourselves. And so as you invest in yourself, okay, and, who wouldn't invest in themselves? I mean, it's unreasonable to think and ask other people to come and invest in your house, to take care of your own house. No. And so in the same way, in what we do in Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi, we self-fund. Okay, everybody pitches in to help. Once again, what membership organization are you in that you don't have a responsibility? And so it's the same thing. Okay, it's not unreasonable, but there is a cost to be a part of these things. But what you're going to get in return is absolutely significant. Okay, and so I'm encouraging, particularly in the times that we live in now. Okay, I mean. Listen, none of us have ever seen the kind of things that's happening now in this community. I was listening when I was coming over here about the fact that the Supreme Court just weighed in on some gun rights legislation, okay? That on the surface seems like it's going to, frankly, it's going to probably end up hurting some more folks, okay, because people's ability to be able to carry firearms without a certain level of questions in terms of this good rationale. And typically what happens is when something is passed, you got people who go to the extreme. They swing to the extremes on these kind of things. And that's the kind of stuff that gets people hurt. So that's just one good example. What in the world do we do? Well, in the community, you got to organize yourself. You got to get organized. You got to sit around the table and talk and do some planning about these things, some discussions about these things, some what ifing, so that you're able to put forth a good, once again, front, get a lot of people involved, and once again, sometimes defend yourself. Make sure that you put in the proper planning things so that things do not happen. We're going to be going to a break here pretty soon, but I'm mindful of this, of something that we look at all the time at New Horizon these days. We've always had security around the church because we were always concerned about somebody coming in, sad to say, of robbing the church. Well, we're no longer really concerned much about anybody robbing the church. That's not our issue anymore. Our issue now is terrorism, okay, of not being a victim of terrorism. And so now we got to do a whole new different thing to be able to secure our premises, to make sure our people are safe, because we don't want to be a victim of terrorism. So it's all of these things that we also do to help our churches and all of our institutions to get ready for things that hopefully some good deterrence will make sure you're never that victim. Listen, we're about to take a break, but come back with us and maybe you can get in and call us, okay? And we'd love to talk to you. Be right back.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.DOT grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. I'm Bishop Ronnie Crudup, Diocese Bishop for the Fellowship of International Churches, also Senior Pastor of New Horizon Church International here in Jackson, here representing Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi on this program that we call Working Together, okay? And, of course, this is a program of Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi. And we're a membership organization, so we are encouraging those out there to become a part of this organization because it will help you, it will strengthen you, it will strengthen your institution, and you'll get a whole lot of good out of being a part of an organization like this. Listen, I would love to talk to somebody, so you can give me a call at 1-800-492-5186. That's 1-800-492-5186. Love to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing here at Working Together in Jackson and Working Together Mississippi, and see what we can do to get your organization involved, okay? Because I know you're going to be significantly helped, okay, by being a part of this. And so this is some of the best work happening in the state of Mississippi, and I can say that without having to back up off that at all. Okay, it really is. And so it's a great work that's going on, and it teaches you. That's the great thing about it. It teaches you so much. It teaches you how to do things. A lot of times we always say that, particularly in faith institutions, we're real bad about telling folks what they ought to do, but then not telling them how to do it. Okay, let me say that again. We're real bad about telling folks what they ought to do, but then not telling them how to do it. In this kind of work, community organizing that we do in Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi, we not only talk about what are the best practices, but we then talk about how do you do those things, okay? We teach you how to do those things. Sometimes we hold your hand about for a while to help you do that, but we also are going to create even more independence and strength, empowerment in you and your organization to be able to do that thing and do it real well. And so that's what this is about. And I hope that you will take the opportunity to become a part of Working Together Jackson. So once again, we are inviting you to be a part Working Together Mississippi. We're inviting you. And you say, well, what's the difference? Well, if you're somewhere in the Delta, if you're somewhere on the coast, if you're somewhere in North Mississippi or somewhere over on the Mississippi Riverside of Mississippi, then that's going to be more Working Together Mississippi, okay? If you're in the Metro Jackson area, then it's going to be Working Together Jackson, okay? And so we would love to have you to be a part of this work. Once again, you can find us on Facebook under Working Together Jackson. You can find us by Googling us, okay, and being a part of this. And so, come on, and let's reason together, as the prophet says, and for our good, for our mutual good, okay. And so, so that's what this work is. This work is all about. Once again, we'd love to hear from you at 1-800-492-5186. That's 1-800-492-5186. And talk a little bit about this work, or talk about a concern in the community that you may have. In Jackson, Mississippi, there are a lot of concerns, and one of the things, there are some key things that we're putting a lot of time and effort in right at this particular point. We're talking a lot, and you're going to hear us talking a lot even more about violence, how we deal with the violence that's in our community. Certainly, we talk about economic development. That's one of the significant things that we took and began to do some things around economic development, because particularly in the Jackson community that is predominantly African American, when we recognize that the majority of the contracts that are let out to various businesses, African American businesses get woefully less. Okay, in fact, we recognize that probably we don't get but about 5% of those opportunities for business enhancement and advancement, even though African Americans are 85% of the population. And so that needs to change, okay? That needs to change. And so that's been one of those things that we work on and will continue to work on to bring some change to. And so you can be sure of that, okay? Once again, violence is another one of those. How do we deal with and challenge the violence that's in our community today? Okay, I mean, come on. Black on black crime is awful, okay? The shootings and the killings among our teenagers. I mean, if you got a teenager today, that child is either a target, okay, or that child could be the perpetrator, okay? And so how do you hedge your children from being victimized? How do you help your children not be the perpetrator, okay? And so for a lot of us, we say, well, we take them to church. Well, I want to say to you that you not only need to take them to church, that's a good start, okay? But there's got to be a lot of discussions. You got to look at some best practices. You got to take some suggestion of others in places where that's being done well, and institute some of those things. Well, those are some of the things that we do in Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi, is we help people to be able to address those felt needs that you may have. Cleanliness is another issue. Okay, I mean, blight and trashiness, particularly in the urban areas, is something that is out of control. It's out of hand. I mean, a lot of times our urban communities are filthy. Okay, and so how do we make change? Okay, in terms of those things, and so there are a lot of things that can be done, and so we. In Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi, we look at those best practices. We make those suggestions to individuals and institutions. We bring people together to talk about it and go from there. Because as a good example, I'm one of those folks that on the street that I live in, I've taken it upon myself that I keep the street clean. Okay. Well, one of the things I do anyway is I walk and I run. And so anytime I'm walking and running, then particularly on the block that I'm a part of, then I pick up trash that's there too. So whether going or coming back, if I see some eyesores, I see trash and stuff like that, I'm going to pick some of that up. Well, and that's wonderful. And I would encourage more people to do that. But I will warn you of this, that you can become really discouraged sometimes because you clean up and then somebody will come back behind you and trash it back up. Okay. And so, and a lot of times you may find out those may not be your neighbors, or it may be somebody else that's passing through and things like that. And so it's not your neighbors who are doing that, but somebody else is doing that. Well, you got to get yourself to a place where you're a little tough skinned in terms of that and determine that, listen, I'm going to continue to do this, okay, regardless of what somebody else does. And so, you got to get to the place where you make a decision. I'm not going to let a perpetrator set the agenda, okay? A trash perpetrator. That's a good one, isn't it? I'm not going to let not just a violence perpetrator. I'm not going to let a trash perpetrator set the agenda for me and my street or my community, okay? And so, we've got to be a part of that. There's a guy, and I really appreciate him. Don't know his name. I see him from time to time. Sometimes I'll blow at him just to encourage him and give him a thumbs up. But I live in the southern part of the city, and he has taken upon himself to keep clean a major thoroughfare, kind of one of the entry-level streets into South Jackson. Right off the interstate. And so I appreciate that guy so much, okay, of what he is doing. I see him a lot of times. He'll be literally cutting grass on a major thoroughfare, okay? I mean, that's the state's responsibility, but he takes it upon himself also to do a little extra because the state only comes through there, the city only comes through there every so often. So he'll be out there with a weed eater, a lawnmower, and those kind of things. And I see him all the time picking up trash. And I think that is absolutely wonderful. And I just, I get angry when I recognize that the next day there'll be some low-count person who will come and throw a bag of trash out. Some fast food stuff or whatever, those kind of things like that. Somebody that's, in my opinion, even worse, somebody who will come in and dump some old furniture on side of the road, like you can't go to a dump with that, and mess stuff up for him. And this guy's trying to clean up. And so, you could be real discouraged by that. And I'm thankful that he doesn't seem to be discouraged by that. But that's what he's doing. And so, I'm praying all the time, Lord, give other people that kind of spirit, because you got to believe that in the long run that your good work is going to be such a powerful example that it's going to speak to the naysayers. It's going to speak to the people who in the past have been trashy, okay? Who have been the perpetrators of awful things, okay? And it's going to change and hopefully break their hearts, and they decide, I'm going to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem, okay? Now, with that, let me just point this out. If you know that you've been somebody, you out there listening, you watching, and you've been guilty of littering, stop it. Okay, what? Stop it. If you've been guilty of littering, wherever that is, not just if you're in South Jackson, one of these streets, on my street, or this thoroughfare that this guy's cleaning up, wherever, let's stop it. And you say, well, everybody else is throwing trash. Well, you be the solution rather than the problem. Start being that solution and provide a good example for everybody else, okay? And one of the things I'm hopeful, we were talking about this guy, is I'm hopeful he's going to put a little signage out there that will say, hey, I'm keeping this clean, start helping me, okay? Don't litter, or something like that. And so that people will see that, and hopefully that'll be another level of deterrent. But we're in working together, Jackson, working together, Mississippi, we're into teaching those kind of things, okay? We're into helping people with the best practices of those kind of things. We're into helping people organize themselves so they can accomplish cleanliness. They can accomplish less violence. They can accomplish better housing. They can accomplish more business development. They can accomplish, better schools. Whatever it is your felt need, then those are the kind of things that frankly ends up on our agenda, and we address those things, okay? because if you join this kind of work, then you get an opportunity to have some say-so as to what is the agenda. And so that's another reason to come and be a part of Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi. And once again, we want you, okay? Absolutely. We want you, and I'll say this to you as well. You say, well, we had never done anything like that. Well, listen, the definition of insanity is doing the things the same way you've always done it and expecting a different result, okay? What has to happen if you're going to make changes, you got to do something different. And one of those significant differences may be joining an organization like Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi, and get the help to make the change that you want to make. Okay? Well, by the way, we're not a subversive group. We're a bunch of Christians and others. Okay? We're not just strictly Christian. I mean, we're Jewish, we're Muslim as well. But we are people of values. Okay? Everybody that joins us is a person, frankly, of significant values, who wants life better for everybody. And so from that standpoint, we got some common concerns, common desires that then we can build off of, that keeps everybody at the table and helps us to be able to do the things that all of us want to see done. And so get your organization in here too, and be a part of these things, okay? In fact, we encourage everybody to come with their needs, okay? We tell people we don't want to just be a bunch of do-gooders, okay? We want everybody to have some of their needs fulfilled in this kind of work, okay? And so come and bring your felt needs, and everybody else will come and bring their felt needs, and so that we all can get something good out of the work that is occurring. That's what this good work is about. And so there's an opportunity for you and your institution. So, hey, you may be a deacon out there. You may be a steward. You may be a preacher. You may be the pastor. You may be a member of whatever the board is that directs your organization. Hey, look into being a part of Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi, okay? I think it's in your interest, in your self-interest. We tell folks, everybody ought to come with an interest. It doesn't have to be, once again, selfish interest. You have an interest, but it doesn't have to be selfish. But we can all bring our interests together, and we can all accomplish something really, really significant, okay? I got a few minutes left. A little bit less than a minute left, but I just want to push this fact that we want you to be a part of this organization. Please look us up, do a little homework, find out about us, give us a call. Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi, and we would love to have you to be a part. If you can't find us, then call New Horizon Church, okay? You can find New Horizon Church and talk to the person and say, listen, how do I get in touch with Working Together Jackson, Working Together Mississippi? And we'll put you in touch with them, okay? Because we want you to be a part of this powerful work that is going on in this community. So, hey, because it's good. Okay, I appreciate so much you joining us today as we talk about working together. Let's work together. Let's reason together. Let's accomplish much. Until the next time, count it all joy.
SGECOVIDsolutions.com is paving the way forward for a safer city government, delivering cutting-edge biosecurity and biosafety protocols developed internationally by top virologists and scientists using an all-natural cleaning solution, killing COVID-19 on contact like no other product on the international market. For more information, please call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at SGECOVIDsolutions.com. Let SGECOVIDsolutions.com provide innovative rapid facilities testing and world-class state-of-the-art biorisk safety protocols for all of your coronavirus needs. Call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at SGECOVIDsolutions.com.